Right, I wasn't really planning on doing a video on this this pair of LS3 5As, but I thought I'd shoot some of it. Whether it turns into a video or not, I don't know. Right, so a black pair of Rogers LS3 5As arrived with me last week. No tweeter output on this one. I've taken some measurements and I will stick them in now. So as you can see, there's no output from this tweeter, and also there's, I can't remember what frequency it was at, a bit of a peak in the woofer range, which is very odd, and it's in both of them as well. So one thing I have noticed is the woofer has been loosened at some point, and it's not central in here. So whether it's a bit of sort of diffraction that's causing that, I'm not too sure yet. So yeah, this tweet is dead. It actually measures short circuit, and I think that short circuit has caused the issues with the crossover. Let's just show you the tweeter. Unusual to go short circuit, normally it's open. So yeah, 0.4 of an ohm. The leads on this at the moment are 0.2. And with the crossover, let's move that out of the way. With the crossover, you can see this resistor here and this resistor have significantly overheated, really badly. Now, whether that's because the speaker's been overdriven, that's caused the tweeter to go, or whether the tweeter has probably been overdriven, short-circuited, and caused these to really cook up. I'm not too sure yet. And also this resistor here has really gotten hot. So this is across this inductor here. But yeah, this is the 15 ohm variant of the LS3 5A. So yeah, quite a complex little crossover, as you've probably seen in my other video. But what I need to do with this is test every single cap. The resistors I'm going to replace anyway, but I will check them. The inductors we'll test as well, but I'm pretty sure they're okay. And yeah, get another tweeter and repair as needed. So the other speaker I have taken apart. Again, the woofer is off-center with its cutout, so I don't know whether that, like I say, is causing this diffraction problem. But this woofer's quite gritty, which concerns me a bit. But it's, yeah. Also, when I took this out, there was significant corrosion around the back of the woofer. So I don't know whether that's our issue inside the motor, between the pole piece and the voice coil. We'll see. This tweeter's okay. Velcro's all lost its stick. The client cosmetically isn't worried about these. He just wants them working properly. They're going into a bit of a retro recording studio, I think. So yeah, they're probably still not going to have a very easy life when they're done. The other thing to note on this one, it's obviously been apart before when someone's looked to try and find out why we had no tweeter output. And when they've put it back together, they've wound all the screws in so hard, they've pulled through the Velcro, and they are halfway into the ply. So you can see they've blown the ply out. So I'm going to have to try and carefully take those out, hopefully the way they came in, but that's likely to lift up the ply. Yeah, sorry about that, just had a delivery. Yeah, so those screws have been wound in so tight that they've pulled through, and normally they just sit on top of the Velcro, and that actually makes the cover easier to take off because it means the Velcro doesn't grab as hard. But yeah, so that's, I mean, that's particularly bad. That's not going to be an easy thing to do, but yeah, there we go. So this is the main thing I want to dig into, the crossover, although I think I'll probably get this dismantled. Right, next. So there's our KEF T27, which is short circuit. I can't see any reason why it's short circuited other than the voice coil. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame really. So I need to try and find one of these. This is the SP1032 variant 8 ohm. So there's a few of them out there on eBay and things like that. I do have a few, so I may have one anyway. So I'll get the woofer out of here as well, and then once they're all out I can look at getting these screws out. So the last pair I worked on didn't have this rubber, it's kind of a hard rubber, almost plastic gasket around the woofer. And a few people commented on that, but I wasn't particularly bothered about it because the woofer bites into the wood quite well and will seal pretty well anyway, and also that bit of spacing there creates a bigger void here, which is never a good thing. So yeah, really and truly you would really want this, I would say, further into the baffle, not having something that, whilst it probably helps with air tightness, yeah, creates that gap. But like I say, with this, it's sharp edge biting into the wood, it's probably pretty airtight anyway. Right, so there's our B110. This one's quite nice, very dirty, so we will give these a good clean up. Everything looks good in there, bit of corrosion on the back. Yeah, otherwise pretty good. The doping, which is like, I think probably just PVA, is coming away a little bit there. That's quite common, not the end of the world. So yeah, right, I want to get these screws out and then tackle this. So that's all the Velcro off. I had to take that off in order to get to the screw holes, so I'm going to try and get these screws out. What I'll probably do is just open these holes up a little bit more and hopefully just tap them back out. So they've come out without too much of a headache. There are some splits, which was inevitable. I'm going to sand this, respray it, and then our Velcro will go back over this. And I will probably use some slightly oversized screws because these have been pulled in. So yeah, it is what it is really. Annoyingly, my solder pump has packed up. But there we go. Right, so this little 2 ohm resistor, it's only 2 watt rated as well. It's actually gone open circuit. I'm surprised. Oh, there we go. Yeah, falling to bits, cooked up, nasty. Okay, so what I will do, if I can find the flipping things. So what we do with stuff like this is get one of these scratch pens and clean that up as best we can. It's not going to cause any issues really that it's remains like that. Okay, let's take out this 82 ohm, which is also cooked up a lot. So I'm going to replace all these anyway, so I'll probably just take them out. again, significant overheating. Make a note on my whiteboard, which is behind you, what these values are. So R3, 82 ohm. Right, let's test this one as well. Yeah, open circuit. From time to time, that's measuring it on the 2K scale, 221 ohms. So yeah, that one's had it. So I want to take this resistor out as well, because we've really cooked up the solder there. God, stinks. Okay. So again, you can see the heat damage on the bottom of the ceramic section there. So let's see what this is. This should be, can't really see what's on that. It's either 22 or 82. I think it's 82. Yeah, okay, so that's actually measuring 80. That's probably all right. But again, these are getting replaced, so R1. R1 is 80. Sorry, 82. And then we'll take the this R2 out, which is a 22 ohm as well. I'm sure this one's fine, but okay. So yeah, this one has heat markings there, but I think it's just come off the other resistor. So this should be 22. 21.5, yep. So again, I'll make a note of that. R2 is a 22 ohm. Right, so while I'm in this area, we will lift up a leg on these inductors and check those as well. And let's take that one there up as well. Okay. So that's 2.14 millihenry. That's the sort of thing I'd expect to see. So 2.14. I like this little tester, but I really must make up some decent leads for it. And this one, 1.13. Those values do sound familiar. Okay. And then we got our little auto transformer here, which has got multiple taps for Okay, that's pretty good, so I'll put those back in. It's very rare for anything really to go wrong with the inductors. If they get too hot and the lamination on the wire melts, they can short out and lose some of their value. Resistance goes down. So they should always be checked. A lot of people just don't bother, they just look at the caps and not bother with the inductors, but they're there to do a very important job as well. Right, okay, let's give that a quick clean, just to get the loose bits off. Right, now I've got the crappy job of the all the caps to do. Right, so we're trying to be a bit clever here. We've got a 1 microfarad, 1 microfarad and a 0.33. So altogether we should have 2.33 microfarads. And if we look at the board, they're all connected in parallel here. That's why we get that summing value. And the only connection on this side of the caps is here, where we connect to our jumper here. So if I take that off, I can test these without removing them, assuming I get that total value, without having to take them out. So that will be good. So we'll take that little jumper off, and then we've got a peg there we can connect to, so that'll be handy. And then try and hold this on the other side. So yeah, 2.35. Adding all those up was 2.33, so I would say those are perfect. Okay, so I'll jumper back on. Yep, perfect. Right, so I'm not going to be as lucky with the others, so we'll carefully take them out, I think, because they're so tight together. I don't think we can lift up one leg. Right, so C3A and C3B are both 1.5 microfarad. So let's check these. Hmm. Yeah, 1.47. So no issues with that one. And 1.47 with this one. So yeah, these are all good. So just carefully straighten these legs back up. And then they can go back in. Ta-da! So I just put a dot on these after I've tested them. Right, let's go for these two next. Right, so C1A is a 1.5 and C1B is a 2.2. So let's see what we get on these. So the 2.2. 2.34, yeah, that's okay. And the 1.5. Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, 1.5. Yep. Good. Right, let's get those back in. Okay. Right, so C5A should be a 4.7. .86. Yeah, pretty good. I don't think I'll put that one in yet. I'll take this little one out while I've got the room there. That was a pig to get out. So this is C5C. 0.68 or yeah, right. So we should be 680 nanofarads and we are 735. Yeah, that's probably okay. I would probably say that's down to the meter more than the cap. I've come across these caps before and they do hold up really well. So I'd be surprised if there are any issues beyond these resistors, but we've got to check it. Right, those two are back in and all good, so that's that one and that one. So next we've got these two 4.7s and then a couple of little ones again. Right. So 4.7. Sorry, I'm a bit cack-handed here doing all of this. 4.82. .9. Yep. Right, and the other one, just had to do a quick repair on my leads for this tester. Like I say, I need to make some decent ones for it. These are bloody awful. 4.9 on that one. Right, so they're back in. So last thing we want to do is check these. Right, so I can actually test this 0.68 without removing it because the output leg on that is just going to the resistor that we've taken out at the moment, so we can go straight across. Uh, 742 nanofarads. So yeah, quite happy with that one. So we've got the 0.33 to take out. 337, so 338 nanofarads, which is 0.33 microfarads as near as damn it. So yeah, all good. Right, if you made it this far and that hasn't bored the crap out of you, then all our caps are fine. These two inductors are fine. I'm going to see if I can figure out how I go about testing this auto transformer and what sort of values I should be getting. Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. So 1, 2, 3, 4 new resistors we need, and I'll put something better than these ceramic jobbies in there. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, it's good. So I will just double check all the solder joints, also clean all this up now I've taken everything out with some isopropyl alcohol, and yeah, all good. Little wobbly cam this. I've just taken the other speaker apart, and this woofer is really gritty, and it's got a funny clicking noise when you lift it up, and you can probably hear the distortion. That's at 300 Hertz. 400, 500 cleans up because the cone isn't really doing much work now in terms of excursion. Yeah, loads of distortion there. Sounds like a trombone. Really gritty. Physically it doesn't look bad. The spider's all attached, the surround is all fine, the cone seems aligned. I think the voice coil's got hot, the lamination has kind of cooked up a bit, and it's full of muck. So I think what I'll do is take off the dust cap, see if I can clean it out. I don't really want to take it apart. These little drivers are such a bitch to put back together. If the voice coil has cooked up, then yeah, really we're replacing it with a second hand one anyway. Sorry, this is wobbly cam as well. I've sort of packed up the tripod and everything after doing the first crossover. I've gone through this one as well, and all our caps are fine. There is some scorch in there on R3. So these little 2-watt resistors here, yeah, grossly underpowered, but I think these have been overdriven, hence why we've got this issue with the woofer that I'm going to look into. This value R4 that I wasn't too sure on what it was, because it was burnt away on the other resistor as an 8.2 ohm. So I'm obviously going to replace these with something more with a higher power rating than 2 watts. That's just ridiculous. But yeah, there we go. Right, so the 8.2 on this has gone open circuit as well, which was the one that was really cooked up on the other. So I'll have to see where they are in the crossover circuit. If they're part of the woofer circuit, that might be the reason we had that little peak. Yeah, I'll have to double check that. But yeah, interesting that that's open as well. Right, I've lifted up the dust cap on this, had a good look in there, and I don't know how well you can see that, but it's where the voice coil goes around the former, it's quite discoloured. So yeah, it's obviously overheated, and what I'm hearing sounds like windings delaminated, unfortunately, and also its DC resistance is considerably lower than this one, which suggests that the lamination has burnt off, or the lacquer on the wire, and some of the windings are sort of shorting together. So yeah, we're certainly not going to rewind this. Yeah, it's a shame, but they are out there, so we'll just have to try and find another. And this is the SP1003 variant. Never mind, worth a shot. Yeah, so while I'm getting these staples out, these are a very highly regarded speaker. One speaker that's kind of influenced my little line of speakers I'm doing. I've kind of finished my middle size speaker, so I'm building one this size, which I'm calling the HA35. My mid size, which I'm calling the HA36. I'll put a picture of that in now. And then I'm going to build a larger version, well, my version of the LS3, which I'm calling the HA38. So the 8 part is the size of the woofer. But yeah, these, you have to be careful when you're doing videos on these speakers, because you all of a sudden get all sorts of people jumping in. That's not right, this isn't right, that's the 11 ohm version with a 15 ohm blah de blah de blah in it. But yeah, I mean, there you go. So yeah, they're very desirable and collectible. I think about £1 will get you a really good pair. Some go for silly money. I know Falcon Acoustics make these themselves now, have done for a while, and through them you can get new cabinets, baffles, approved wadding and damping, and they've also started or also remake the drivers as well, so you can get new matched pairs of T27s, B110s, so you can basically build yourself a brand new pair. They do a couple of versions of the crossover as well, I think. So yeah, all pretty cool really.